welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel if you are part of my little YouTube family. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that is very popular right now. It's kind of a pandemic, an epidemic, whatever you want to call it, but the coronavirus. It has messed things up. It has put a kink in a lot of plans of mine and everyone. I'm sure you have a story to tell as well. But for me, my son's birthday is next month and he wanted to have a bowling party. That's not gonna happen, probably. It's at the end of next month, but all this probably will not be done by then. I have a concert I'm taking my daughter to, supposed to take her to at the end of May. I'm really hoping and praying that it still happens, or at least it gets postponed and doesn't just cancel, because it's to JoJo Siwa. If you girl moms out there know who I'm talking about, if you have a daughter between the age of I don't even know, 3 and 10, you know where I'm coming from when I say that I really want to be able to take her to that concert. At this point, I'm mostly just praying that the daycares don't have to shut down, because if they shut down, that's gonna mess some things up for sure, because I can't exactly just take off if I'm still expected to work, and my husband can't either. He is the breadwinner, he's got to go to work, but it's just affecting everything. Anyways, back to the subject of the coronavirus. I wanted to share with you guys what I do to help prevent getting it, spreading it. In all honesty, I do most of these things on the daily, especially when I'm on the plane working. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I'm a flight attendant with a major US airline. And anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys what I do on the plane to practice safe, safe, clean practices on the plane and both on my layovers. So I always have in my bag with me a little baggie with wipes and gloves as well. And I just make sure I wipe down my jump seat really, really well, wiping down the phone that I use to make PAs and call the pilots with. I also make sure to wipe my galley and any surface, these little knobs, I touch them all the time. All right, so I'm in Chicago right now and I'm fixing to sanitize my room a little bit, just as a precaution. We do get these wipes, and so I usually take a couple for my layover, and I'll show you guys what all I wipe down. I'm not going too crazy with this stuff, honestly. I don't know. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyways, I'll just show you guys what I do to make sure that this hotel room is kind of somewhat clean, especially if I decide to leave and touch anything. I'm usually a bit of a slam clicker, so I don't really leave my hotel room much. But just in case I do, I know that I'm touching a surface that is clean. And then mostly I just practice a lot of hand washing, hand sanitizer like crazy. I keep it in my bag always before this happened and before the outbreak, but especially now I always make sure I have one in my pocket. If not, we do have Sani wipes or Purell wipes on the plane that they supply us with, so I do use those as well just in case I run out of hand sanitizer. I just don't want to use up so much of it. I'm very vigilant about just making sure, even especially now, not to touch people. Please don't touch me. Always, but don't touch me, especially now. Thankfully, I have a really good immune system. I always have. I maybe get the flu once every few years. I'm very thankful for that. I credit that to my dad. He always had great bill of health, and he was a pilot, as most of you probably know. So I always, thankfully, I'm never sick, but with how crazy it's been lately, I'm just taking extra precautions to make sure that I don't get sick, much like I would with any illness season, like flu season, or strep kind of goes around year round, but I'm always vigilant about making sure that I practice safe, clean practices so that I don't get sick on the daily. And then if I ever do feel like I'm under the weather, don't really feel well, I always carry Emergency with me, which is an immune boosting supplement that you can drink. It also gives me a little bit of energy. I prefer airborne, but right now I'm having to carry Emergency with me. So I do drink that whenever I don't feel well, or if I just feel like I just may need it. I always have that on handy. I do keep cold and flu medication as well. Just always, but especially I like to make sure that that little kit that I have in my bag is stocked full right now, just as a preventative. Some tips that you could be doing on the plane, just in case you do have to travel for work, or just travel in general right now during this pandemic, whatever it's called. Make sure, and honestly, you guys should be doing this regardless of whether or not there was an illness going around. This is something that a lot of these things that you should just be doing on the plane all the time, because planes get cleaned, but not that well. But I've lately been noticing a lot of people who wipe down their seats, their windows, the handle that goes to the shade of the window, tray tables, and they bring their own wipes on the plane, of course, and wipe everything down, basically. Tray tables, handles, seat belts, everything. In all honesty, you should be doing that every time you travel, not just right now, because those planes get cleaned in between flights, but they don't clean the seat belts or the tray tables. They don't wipe any of that down. So in between flights. And then they do take planes out of commission every so often. I don't know how often it is, but they do eventually go out to get maintenance and actually like deep cleaned, but I can't even tell you how often that happens. So really you should be doing it a lot more than what I've been seeing lately from people. But that is a safe practice to do in case you do have to travel right now during this time. At first I probably would have said go ahead and wear a mask, but now, knowing what I know now, it's honestly pointless, because unless those masks have a filter, there's some that have a filter on them, unless it has a filter, those masks are only good for about 15 to 20 minutes, if that. I was told this by a nurse. That's why nurses and doctors change them so often, because they only work for so long, and then you're just breathing in whatever air is from the outside. I also was told that the coronavirus, the strain of it is so small that it can actually go through one of those masks regardless, and it's airborne. So honestly, you're not really doing anything or preventing anything by wearing the mask. So whatever. If it makes you feel better, it's a security blanket, then wear it. But I don't see the point. Am I worried for my job? A little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been with my airline that long. Things have gotten really scary, honestly. There's talk that it's not just talk, but it really is worse. The aftermath of all this is really way worse than anything that 9/11 brought to us, and how it affected the industry as a whole. We have cut back our flying. I should have already had my schedule this month, and it's been delayed. They are compensating us for that, which is nice, but it kind of sucks because it's really postponed a lot of things. We don't know what it's going to do for the schedules next month. We'll find out, but it's just all kind of up in the air right now. It's a very scary time to be in the aviation industry. But I am very confident that my airline in particular will bounce back pretty quickly after all of this is over with. I'm very confident. We were the fastest growing airline before this happened, and I'm fairly confident that we will bounce back from this quicker than others might. And on that note, I know this is a bit of a controversial topic right now, but there are a lot of people out there who think that the airline industry doesn't need a bailout or any money to help them during this time, but I just want to read y'all a couple of things that I found online that is very eye-opening, and a lot of people who think that way don't necessarily know this information or just haven't thought of it in this context. This one says, to the public saying that airlines don't deserve a bailout. The airlines in the USA provide jobs to more than 750,000 people in the United States. Indirectly, They provide jobs to over 10 million people. They transport more than just vacation travelers. They transport organs for transplant, life-saving medications, medical equipment, people seeking medical treatment, military personnel, your mail, your Amazon orders, your family members. They provide relief from emergency situations like hurricanes, mass fires, earthquakes, and floods. They provide a means of quick evacuation and rapid emergency response. They help drive over $1.7 trillion into our economy, and they do that all while working as the fastest and safest means of transportation. Yes, they help you go on vacation, and yes, they are a big business. However, they are a vital part of our economy and our everyday lives. If they are let to fail as a result of this virus, then the effects will be widespread and devastating for our nation and the world. So take a minute, look around you, think about your life and how the airlines have influenced it. Sincerely, an airline employee. This was copy and pasted by someone I follow. So, I mean, that's just, really humbling to think about because, in one way, shape, or form, the airline industry has affected you in some way. The airline industry, even though it is so big, is so small when it comes to our employees across the globe. We are in this together, you guys. It's such a hard time right now, but I fully believe that we will bounce back and get through this. Well, that is pretty much it for this video. Not much more to say. I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy during this quarantine and craziness. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in my next video.